Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between MTW DIMAGA and ATN Socke here on Jungle Basin. I will just try to say Socke throughout the rest of the match. Some people say my German pronunciation of Socke is alright, but apparently a lot of you guys out there are like, don't even try to say it, just pronounce Sock like the thing on his foot. Trying to give homage off to his, German background. But anyways, we have Socke spawning as the blue Protoss player here on the top left-hand side of Jungle Basin. Meanwhile, we have DIMAGA spawning as the red Zerg. Zerg versus Protoss here on Jungle Basin, and there is this natural expansion that is very, very easy to defend as a Zerg player, so we'll see if DIMAGA tries to use that. Meanwhile, Socke now moving out with this one scouting probe, and we'll be able to come up that ramp in just a moment and perhaps try to delay that hatchery from being placed down. If that hatchery is gonna in fact be delayed, most likely DIMAGA will just go ahead and respond with getting a refinery, or it's not a refinery, an extractor and a spawning pool in order to try to stop any early or not fall too far behind. And never mind, DIMAGA now going for an earlier extractor first before that spawning pool, and he is going to be gaining a very, very strong opening with a lot of Zerglings across this map. That means that he's going to be able to cover a lot of ground very early, see if his opponent is trying to rush in, and then react and respawn accordingly. Also, that spawning pool does allow him to get queens, a very integral part of the Zerg army. Yeah, so Probe now wandering around on the inside over here, and Jungle Basin's one of those maps where it was removed from the map pool, so I'm not quite sure why they're playing on Jungle Basin. Jungle Basin had a lot of issues with it, I feel. There was always the chance of a lot of cheese play. There was a lot of issues with warping in units across gaps here and here as well, so you always had to be on the lookout and aware of that. Zerg players normally didn't like it because they had a very difficult time trying to establish a third base. So Protoss had a very, very sizable lead against Zerg, and same thing with Terran. Terran off of 2 bases much easier than Zerg off of 2 bases. You can now see a probe making its way down over here. It may try to warp in a pylon to do a little bit of blocking or just patrol in between those 2 locations. But with Zerglings in production, yeah, 4 Zerglings now going to make their way down over here and be able to shut down that probe very, very easily as it just wanders back and forth between that location. And the probe now trying to get away. The Zerglings, however, do move a little bit faster, so we'll see if enough damage can get done or if Socke can actually move away with this probe and try to escape with it. It is down to 15 hit points already. The metabolic boost not yet completed as the Zerglings are giving chase, and it looks like there's a little bit of a sizable lead now by that probe, and that probe now should be able to start regenerating some of those shields before it takes another hit. Yeah, taking a hit and it just be able to run away. It looks like it will be able to sneak back home, recharge a little bit of shields, take some damage. There you go. And just taking 3 points of damage before a Zergling can attack it once more. Gonna just pass right through that Zealot, and the Zealot now going to take down a Zergling. So a sacrificial Zergling there as a Zealot can take down a lot of Zerglings as it takes them on one at a time. We are seeing an Overlord here now, and we are also seeing a Stargate play. I'm not sure if DIMAGA actually saw the Stargate. No, he did not see the Stargate when he flew by with that Overlord. So that Stargate could open up with either Phoenixes or Void Race. We've seen recently how effective Phoenixes are on against Zerg if the Zerg player doesn't get enough queens. Even if the Zerg player got like 3 queens between 2 hatcheries, with that graviton beam on that Phoenix, the Phoenixes are able to, I believe, 5 Phoenixes are able to destroy 1 queen. And if it is graviton beamed with 0 upgrades, and that is how the damage works out. So that should be very, very beneficial as well. We see a Nexus is being placed down over here, and Phoenixes are being trained. Phoenix is very powerful, especially now that they only take 25 seconds to build after one chrono boost. I don't want to do the math if there's 2 chrono boosts because they tend to overlap just a little bit. And I do not see an evolution chamber yet coming in from DIMAGA because he has not seen that Stargate. If we do have 4 to 5 Phoenixes out, that is going to play straight into the hand of Socke. Socke is going to be able to graviton beam, shut down those queens, and really effectively destroy the production of DIMAGA very easily, especially if he catches him in the middle of teching the tier 2. If he's teching the tier 2 just like he is right now, he cannot train a queen until the teching is done. It does take quite a bit of time to tech the tier 2, but there's currently still 1 queen at each location, so that will be very beneficial, as now we are going into 4 phoenixes. If Socke does wait for that 5th one, that is going to help him out, or is he just going to wait for 4? It looks like he's just waiting for 4 now, and yes, 4 phoenixes on the move. Zerglings have no idea what to expect, and now the Zerglings over here are going to be able to spot out this 4 phoenixes, and now something is already up. Roach Warden down in play. I don't see an evolution chamber yet, so he has not yet responded, and now going to try to, there goes that evolution chamber. Graviton beaming, queen going to get shot down very, very easily. Second queen now trying to make its way over. Is it going to be enough? Oh yeah, just enough. And now another queen going to get destroyed as well. This queen does not have enough for a transfusion. Queen is going to get destroyed, so all 3 queens will get destroyed in a matter of seconds. And DIMAGA getting completely caught off guard by Socke's phoenixes, completely shutting down the production. And now Overlords are going to get destroyed as well. So Overlord's going to hamper the ability to train any units yet. That Hydralisk Den needs to be built, but if there's not enough Overlords, that's going to be a problem, as he's going to become supply locked. You can see Evolution Chambers has been completed, Spore Colonies desperately trying to be built, but DIMAGA losing multiple Overlords time and time again. There you go, and now picking up drones as well. 47 over 36. Overlords need to be trained, but a lot of damage has been dealt. Taking a look at the losses, over 1,000 resources already lost at this stage. There is 1 Spore Colony over here. Those phoenixes do not want to stay nearby, and now you see the tech and transition into the robotics facility with the Robo Bay. The Robo Bay now going to start teching Colossus, as those phoenixes are dominating the air and the Colossi can dominate the ground. So really, really well played. Okay, I guess I was wrong in my math. It only takes 4 phoenixes for 1 graviton beam and to destroy a queen, not quite 5. Perhaps if as long as all the phoenixes are right nearby and are able to get off every shot, it is just enough. You can see the evolution chambers now researching both the armor and the weapons upgrade. The problem with Hydralisks in order to try to counter phoenixes is that the Hydralisks are also light units, so if they also take additional damage as well, and if you don't have enough Hydralisks, those phoenixes can just pick them off one at a time, as we are now going into 2 base Colossi. Wow. So double training Colossus, 1 at each of the robotics facility, and Annie is also getting the extended thermal lance range. This is not an easy feat to do. He's what, training up 600 gas worth of units. Now he is currently supply locked. He needs to get some more pylons in addition to gateways. Not quite sure why he's not. He got in, what, 3 additional gateways now, training up another Colossus, sitting at 91 over 92. The Phoenixes are still owning the air and just able to be everywhere that they want to be. There is probably a Spore Colony down over here, but just out of range, as the Phoenixes are taking so much damage and now pulling away once more. Total resources lost by Socke, a big fat 0 compared to DIMAGA's 1,400. Tunneling Claws, level 2 missile upgrades, so he is going to try to go for Roach Hydra, now cleaning up and making DIMAGA play in the dark by not controlling these Xel'Naga Watchtowers. He did pick off one of these Zerglings. I don't know why he didn't pick off the second one. There you go. Picking it off now and moving out with Stalkers, Sentries, and an Observer. You are going to see a Roach over here that is currently burrowed as well. There are Creep Tumors being laid down, but there's nothing that one Observer cannot easily shut down. And we can see there were, wow, a lot of Overlords. Apparently you can have an Overlord flower. That kind of just looks really cool, actually. You're like, what crazy Zerg unit is that? Oh, it's a bunch of Overlords just stacked on top of each other. Roaches are now over here. Tunneling Claws research has not been completed, as the Colossi able to clean up the Roaches and those Creep Tumors. It looks like this army of Phoenixes plus Colossus is going to do such a great job in simply being able to attack move. You can see the Creep Tumors now just getting cleaned up very, very easily. 3 Colossus, 2 more on the way, as the Creep Tumors are just going to get destroyed. The Colossi could easily force field, oh, no force field on the ramp there, as the Roaches are now trying to move out. The Stalkers need to be able to get away much more quickly, as the Roaches are going to battle it out. And now no force fields, yes, and now just moving straight in, and oh, 1 Colossus already destroyed. There's that. And can you Graviton Beam a burrowed unit? Oh, there you go. Graviton beaming some of those Roaches, making them so they cannot escape. Stalkers picking them out of the sky. And there you go. So Socke just in such a dominant position so far throughout this match. He is now setting up a third base as well. So a third base is going to be up and running in just a moment. As those queens with a range of 7, they should be able to start dealing damage towards those colossi. But the queens cannot go toe-to-toe, obviously. 4 colossi just standing tall, dealing so much damage. Level 1 weapons upgrade. And Socke deciding to back off. It appears that he doesn't want to suicide his units. He doesn't want to trade armies. He wants to be very careful. And by him establishing this third base here, he knows that he can eventually just choke out his opponent. And he is going to be running off of a large amount of minerals very easily, running off of 6-gate play, 1 Stargate, 2 robotics facilities, and training immortals as well. He's going to be in such a dominant position. You just got to wait for it. Socke just deciding to sit back, relax, and eventually push up this ramp in just a moment. You can see DIMAGA trying to keep up in this game. He does have a decent sized army, 4,000 minerals, or 4,000 total resources, but nothing compared to the almost 9,000 coming in from Socke at this point. Phoenix is still on the move, and there's not much that DIMAGA can really do unless he gets very lucky with his spellcasting units. Perhaps a couple, perhaps the usage of infestors with fungal growth or with neuroparasite, but those units are just so weak. And now roaches trying to make their way over and getting destroyed, just getting picked off one at a time. Roaches with a base 3 armor, essentially taking only 4 damage per attack by each of those phoenixes and attacking very slowly. Stalkers now on the move, quickly getting toasted there as the roaches and queens are going to try to battle it out here. Force fields now coming into play, both sides trying to move forward. You can see the back roaches trying to burrow, but it is not working out at all as the roaches burrow straight underneath, going straight for the Colossus. Immortals also joining in on the fight, but that losses are just too much. Queens joining in as well, but it's not going to be able to stop this Protoss ball of units. Stalkers, Phoenixes, Immortals, Sentries, and there's the GG by DIMAGA. So DIMAGA losing game 1 in the series to Socke here on Jungle Basin. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, hope you guys enjoyed game 1.